Hello students, how are you? I hope you all are fine. Welcome back to Social Science Classroom. In the previous class, we studied about election in China and Mexico. We also saw that there are many instances of denial of equal right to vote. Dear children, as per the recent edition of politics textbook, it is given that until 2015, women did not get the right to vote in Saudi Arabia. So those who are having old textbook have to make correction regarding this topic. Dear students, today we are going to study about the rule of law and respect for rights. Let us start our class. Dear children, we analyzed the words, the rulers, people and election. Today, let us analyze the word government. Example, the government in Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe attained independence in 1980. Since then, the country has been ruled by the ZANU-PF party. ZANU-PF party led the freedom struggle. Its leader was Robert Mugabe. Who was Robert Mugabe? The leader of ZANU-PF party. Robert Mugabe ruled the country since independence. Elections were held regularly, but always won by the ZANU-PF party. Robert Mugabe was popular, but he used many unfair practices to win election. His government changed the constitution several times to increase the powers of the president. Opposition party workers were harassed and their meetings disrupted. Public protest and demonstration against the government were declared illegal. A law was made to limit the right to criticize the government. Now, the people and media were not allowed to criticize the government. Television and radio were controlled by the government. The media had been forced to write and speak in favor of the ruling party. But there were independent newspapers. But the government harassed those journalists who went against it. The government ignored some court judgment that went against it and pressurized the judges. He was forced out of the office in 2017. Dear children, can you understand about the role of government in Zimbabwe since independence? Let me ask a few questions to you. When did Zimbabwe attain independence? 1980. Which party ruled Zimbabwe since independence? ZANU-PF party. Who was the president of Zimbabwe during that time? Robert Mugabe. Example of Zimbabwe shows that popular government can be undemocratic and popular ruler can be autocratic. Here Robert Mugabe was a popular president, but he was autocratic. What is autocratic? The ruler has absolute power and makes certain decisions without asking anyone else's opinion. Dear children, if we wish to assess a democracy, it is important to look before and after the election. Look at the screen. Before elections, there should be sufficient room for normal political activity in the period before election. That means there should be sufficient atmosphere for the political activity in the period before election without having any malpractices. We saw some leaders practiced malpractices before the election. This is not fair to the democracy. Next, this requires that the state should respect some basic rights of the citizen. They should be free to think, to have opinions, to express these in public, to form associations, to protest and take other political actions. everyone should be equal before the law. This is known as rule of law. These rights must be protected by an independent judiciary. The orders of judiciary are obeyed by everyone. After elections. After elections, the government has to respect some guarantee to the minorities. That means the government has to respect and protect the minorities of the country. After elections, every major decision has to go through a series of consultations. The decision has to be taken with a series of discussion. Next one, every office bearer has certain rights and responsibilities assigned by the Constitution and law. Every officers have to perform their rights and responsibilities assigned by the Constitution and law. These aspects give us the fourth and final feature of democracy. A democratic government rules within limits set by the constitutional law and citizens' rights. That means the power of the president or the power of the prime minister is prescribed in the constitution. They have certain power. They are not having unlimited power. A democratic government rules according to the constitutional law and citizens' right. Dear children, through a series of examples, we worked out 4 features of democracy. Accordingly, democracy is a form of government in which the rulers elected by the people take all the major decisions. Election provide choice and fair opportunity to the people to change the current rulers. This choice and opportunity is available to all the people on an equal basis. And democratic government rules within the limit set by the constitutional laws and citizens' rights. Dear children, our topic is over. Today we studied about the rule of law and respect for rights. What is rule of law? Everyone should be equal before the law. What do you mean by respect for rights? The state should protect the basic rights of the citizen. We also studied about the fourth feature of democracy. Dear students, you are related to this topic is attached. Notes and test questions are also attached. Attend the test paper. We can meet in the next session. Bye.